Welcome to a new episode of Baking with Caroline and her mom. I'm Caroline, that's Mom.
Hi there.
And today we're going to do something that's sort of similar to what we've done before, but also entirely different. We are making a long rise pizza dough. And then we're going to cook it in our cast iron skillet. So we're changing the proportions a little bit so that it fits in our tiny little skillet, but if you want the full recipe, it's the recipe that's up there. Okay, Mom, walk me through it.
All right, so first of all, we need a cup and a half of flour.
Cup and a half of flour. Bread flour, yes?
Yes, bread flour, although, you know, all-purpose will work.
Right.
It just won't be as stretchy.
As gummy.
Yeah.
1.5 cups of flour.
Yeah, and half a teaspoon of salt.
A teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon of salt.
Half a teaspoon of salt, that's what I said.
All right.
Okay.
And a 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast.
Okay. I saw on some recipes that you're supposed to put your yeast in warm water before you add that to your dry ingredients.
Yeah, that's called proving, and it's not really necessary with modern yeast.
Okay.
Although, you know, with active dry yeast, it's still okay to do it, but it's not necessary with instant yeast, which is what we're using.
And
so you did a
generous heaping 1/4 teaspoon.
Yeah.
And it's the same package from the one that we used last time.
That's right. It's a good way to economize on yeast is
Yeah.
to do this slow rise. And then pour in a half a cup of water.
Just straight on top? I don't have to make a well or anything?
Yeah, lukewarm water.
Okay.
And a tablespoon of olive oil.
Tablespoon of olive oil. A full tablespoon?
Well, just under, because the whole recipe calls for a tablespoon.
And we're...
Right. And although baking is scientific, I think bread making is a bit more...
Give.
Yeah.
It's a little more elastic, if you want. Gluten jokes. Okay.
Okay. Start with a spoon, I think.
Start with a spoon?
Well, you know, a wooden spoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're just mixing it together.
Yeah, and we're going to make a shaggy dough. The result will be a, quote, shaggy dough.
Shaggy dough.
And we're getting to be experts at shaggy dough,
Do you
aren't
think
we?
shaggy dough is Scooby-Doo's cousin?
Oh, did you practice that one?
No, it just came to me for a moment.
That's terrible. Okay, so this is it mixing together.
I think it's time for this.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful implement.
It
that
is. Don't have to use your hands.
One. Oh, I should have introduced you to it earlier, huh?
Okay, so shaggy dough seems like it's...
Yeah, and it's sort of in a ball.
Yeah.
Basically, make sure there aren't any sort of spare bits of just flour
There are
hanging
loosey
around.
bits of just
Yeah,
flour.
so keep
stirring.
mixing there until you... Yeah, I think you may have to put your hands in. Yeah.
Guys.
Oh, changing and growing.
I'm hating every second of it. Okay.
Okay, so now it's supposed to be shaped into a ball-ish.
Okay. Ball-ish.
Then we're going to leave it for 5 minutes.
Okay, do we cover it?
Yes.
Okay.
And once again, we're going to use these super-duper Corning, nested Corning bowls, each of which came with its own lid.
We do not get money for that. We're back. It's been 5 minutes, and so now we're going to do a technique which the internet calls folding. So instead of kneading, we're going to fold the dough. You want to come and look.
Coming to look.
So it says to take your little spatula and then reach under it as if you're... I don't know that that's going to work.
As though you're going to lift it.
Yeah. But it's not stretching. Like that?
Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Okay.
One, and then turn the bowl 90 degrees. And then lift
Your hand is a good idea.
and stretch. And
Yeah, that wasn't very stretchy. Are you able to stretch it a bit
No,
more
I'm
the
not.
next one?
Yes, the next
Okay.
one maybe.
Pull and stretch. There. Like that.
Okay, so pull it across.
Yeah.
And then one more. And then we're going to do this 3 times, I think. Pull and stretch.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, do I form it back into a little ball?
It's basically ball shaped now, right?
So we're putting the lid back on. We're timing for another 5 minutes. And then we're going to do that again. 4 times. Now we're going to cover it again and leave it on the counter for 40 minutes. And then after 40 minutes, we're putting it in the fridge for at least 12 hours, but up to 72 hours.
And we can tell that this is slightly different from the previous bread we made because it did not go in the fridge, right? And therefore it couldn't stay good for as long as this one will.
Right, you had to do it within the 12 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, because it's in the fridge, it slows down the rising process. And then we'll see you tomorrow with the next step. Hi guys! So it's tomorrow morning, and Mom had to go do some stuff, so I'm going to prep the next part by myself. This is getting the pan ready, putting the dough in it, and then letting it rise again. So I'll set up the camera so you can see me doing that. Okay, so I've got my cast iron skillet here, and I'm putting in 1.5 tablespoons of olive oil. Although we're doing a little bit less, so I'm just going to put 1 tablespoon in. Okay, so we put it into the bottom of the pan. We give the pan a swirl, and you try to get it up the sides as well. You can use a paper towel for this. You could use your hands, but as we all know, I dislike using my hands for things. So I'm just going to get a little oil on my paper towel and pull it up the sides. Oops, kind of lost some there. So all over the sides. Okay, so our pan is really well oiled. Okay, so apparently I didn't record it, but what I did is I took the dough out of my bowl, plopped it into my oily pan, and then turned it around so that it got oil all over everything, and then pressed out the edges so that it fills the pan, and I dimpled it as I went, like we did with our focaccia dough. And then if you're finding it shrinking back in, you can cover it for 15 minutes and then try again. And if that doesn't work and it keeps shrinking again, cover it again for 15 minutes and then try again, and that should give you the kind of elastic that you want. And then now we're going to cover it and let it sit for 2 hours. 2 hours. And then at that point, we'll top it and we'll cook it, and it'll be delicious. Okay, we're back. Mom's back, and so I have a camera person again.
Hi.
So we've let it rise for the 2 hours.
Bring it here.
As you can see, it's
Ooh,
definitely
very
bigger.
nice.
It's got bubbles. It's very soft. It should jiggle, but it doesn't. We don't
Oh well.
know why. We've turned the oven on to 450.
Oops.
It's warming up. And we've put our oven racks, one at the bottom and one at the top. And now we're going to we have about a cup of cheese. We're going to take 3/4 of it and put it directly onto the crust.
All the way to the edges.
Yeah. And this is so that when the sauce goes on top of it, it doesn't sink into the crust and make it soggy.
That soggy crust being one of the banes of the existence of pizza.
Yeah, nobody likes the soggy bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, so a good covering. Right up to the edges. And now we're going to put a couple spoonfuls of sauce. This is a up to you thing, however much sauce you want. We're using just like a spaghetti sauce, but you can use real pizza sauce as well.
Well, you could make your own.
Yeah.
We've been known to do that in the past.
We have. I'm not a big sauce fan, so.
Yeah. This is why doing it yourself is good, because you can customize it to your own specific requirements. That's probably enough. Yeah.
Okay. And then we're putting bacon on ours.
Everything's better with bacon.
Everything's better with bacon.
So, is this raw bacon, Caroline?
No, it's bacon that I pre-cooked, but not like to super crispy because it'll cook more in the oven. And we don't want to put too much on. I will eat the excess.
There's no such thing as excess bacon.
Yes, it is. Is that good?
Yeah, it looks good to me.
Okay. And then we're sprinkling a little bit more cheese on top. If you want to use a melty cheese, we're using pizza mozzarella, but you could use Fontina or Monterey Jack.
Yeah, it looks lovely.
So we're putting it in the oven. I'm putting it on the bottom rack. And we're timing it for 18 to 20 minutes.
Yes.
What do you think, Mom?
18, I guess. Yeah.
Got the difference?
Hmm.
And then we'll check it and see and then decide what to do next. So it's been 19 minutes. We're going to pull it out, check to see how it looks. And then we'll make some decisions. Oh, well. Okay. So we want it to be golden brown on the top and also on the bottom. So we're going to use our offset spatula. What do you think? Oh, it looks pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah.
So we want a little browner on the top.
I think so.
So we're going to move it up to the top rack because the top is warmer and we have a gas range, so it gets a little thing. You can broil it if you want to, but we'll just put it in for another like 4 minutes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we're taking it out. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you want to run a spatula or a knife or something around the edges just to make sure that the cheese doesn't stick while it's cooling. And then you let it cool in the pan for a bit. And then we're going to try to transfer it to a cooling rack.
Yeah, we are.
And then once it's cool enough to eat, we're going to eat it.
Yeah. Yum.
Hi. So we're going to cut into our pizza. Oh my god, you might have been right.
Yeah, maybe a knife would have been better.
Okay, pull it apart. Ooh. There it looks like inside. So it's basically like a pan pizza. Very exciting. Bacon fell off, so I ate it. Oh. As with the rules.
Yeah, the bacon is falling off, so.
There you go.
Okay, so here we go.
Cheers.
Smells yummy.
Mmm.
The crust is fantastic.
Got a nice, like, it's nice and solid on the bottom, but it's fluffy.
And it's not at all soggy. We did good.
That was a lot more work than just ordering pizza, though. Okay, we'll see you next week.